If you've ever stayed up too late the night before because you simply just lost track of time and then looked at the clock and was like, oh darn, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Welcome back to another edition of Live Trading. Sorry, we're a few minutes late here, but I got my main man 13 in the back. We're ready to make sense of this market and this PCE print. Let's get it.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
All right, folks, we are back. Happy Thursday and welcome to another episode of Live Trading. I'm going to bring on 13. 13, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Just doing some reading and writing and all of that fun stuff to prepare for this morning.
Okay.
How are you?
That is awesome. I'm doing well, actually. I'm tired, but hanging in there, doing well, and excited to hopefully get something extracted from Mr. Market here today. Let me go ahead and bring up my charts. I'm just going to start with Mashley's question right here. Is snow the next Pan W for Ryan? I love this because you're looking at the exact same setup that I just traded. And you know what else is especially cool about this, Mashley, is that I talked about this as a potential trade in the happy hour show yesterday based on the same set of rules that we just talked about. So if you recall, the Pan W was an earnings miss. Stocks sold off, found support at the 200-day. We had 3 daily closes above that 200-day moving average, and we ended up coming back with a vengeance. That Pan W trade actually worked out really well. So today, this is going to be the first candle here. Now, I want to see, I'm expecting some volatility. Maybe this does just kind of bounce, retake the 100-day, which is the teal line, and then keep bouncing up to that yellow line, which is the 50-day on a gap fill here. I'm hoping it doesn't happen that fast, frankly. I know that we're popping here in the pre-market because of the PCE print. We're popping pretty much across the board. Let's see if that gets sold into. What I'd really like to see is I'd like to see this kind of consolidate for the 3 days, just like we did on Pan W, and then buy it. Market doesn't always do what I expect, but this is a heads up of you to even ask this. Yes, this is absolutely on watch for me here today. Might even day trade it. We shall see. So great spot there, Mashley. Okay, let's go back to the SPY. Let's talk about the actual market here. We are popping here. 508 we just traded above on the SPY. Sure looks like this actually wants to set new highs. Remember what I've been telling you. This is in the habit of making this exact same pattern, right? Pops to new highs, sells back a little bit, and then pops to new highs again. And a couple of days ago, looked like the market maybe wanted to roll over. Today, sure looks like it wants to put in some new highs. So that's what's going on here. Of course, this is happening on the back of the PCE print. Let me see if I can bring that up here. Shoot, my news feeds are still loading. Let me try and refresh and see if that fixes it. 13, do you have that handy by chance?
Yeah, so we got the PCE year over year for January number at 2.4%. That was also the estimate. Core PCE year over year for January was at 2.8%. That was also the estimate. This is a decrease from the previous PCE reports. They had, let me just bring those numbers up here. They had 2.6 for headline PCE last time and 2.9 for core. So this is welcome news for the market that is looking for inflation to come down, because they believe that if inflation comes down, then we get those rate cuts sooner than later. And if you looked at the Fed projections, I'm sorry, not Fed projections, but the CME projections for the Fed FOMC meetings, they were had already priced in that, or mostly that there's probably not going to be any cuts in March, likely no cuts in May, and there was about a 35 to 40% chance of cuts in June. This will probably change that now because they were looking for, or they thought that maybe a higher number would mean that, okay, inflation's returning. But now we're getting within expectations and a lower print. And the Fed is looking to end this year, 2022, at this 2.4% PCE price index. So this is in line with their year-end expectations. So it's a little bit ahead of the game. And the one concerning thing that could make inflation come back, if you looked at the personal income for January, that rose to 1%, whereas previously in the past months, December, November, October, and such, they were under 0.5. We were coming in at 0.3, 0.3, 0.2, and then September was 0.4. Now all of a sudden we're at 1%. If this continues, we could see inflation come back. So that is the one concerning figure out of this report. But other than that, the PCE numbers are showing continued decrease. They need to keep doing that in order to keep the market happy. Next one that we're looking for is the jobs report on March 8th. And I personally believe that if that shows a rise in unemployment, the market will continue to rise.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. By the way, that employment date is a week from tomorrow. So it's not actually tomorrow. It's going to be another week away. We'll see. We get good stuff there, 13. I know this is something that we've been watching and talking about every single day. One of the big things that we've said from the very beginning of this is that we run the risk of inflation getting entrenched, which would be the worst possible thing for this market. Let's hope that that's not the case. Let's hope that cooler heads prevail here. I don't feel great about it, but we'll see. We'll do the best we can here. Okay, that's good stuff here for the SPY. We covered a potential new swing in snow after its very weak earnings. I do want to caution you. Let's see how that trades. I got no position right now. I want to see how it actually trades after the open here. But let's go take a look at some of the movers because we do have a bunch here. I noticed several of you were already talking about ENVB. This is one that is popping here this morning. ENVB, what we have here is an exclusive. We had another exclusive here. So our news desk team just absolutely killing it recently. And Veric Biosciences announces a non-binding deals to license out 3 types of its different drug compounds. There's more information about that in the actual article itself within Benzinga Pro. There's also obviously a press release for that. That's driving ENVB here 145%. Stock is off the highs here, and it's coming back in a little bit. If you guys want to take a look at what happened yesterday with Vanny and Adil, please recognize that although we had huge moves, Vanny's still holding a 350 handle. Adil looks like that's still holding about 150 or thereabouts. Please understand that after these had huge moves yesterday, after that news was being digested, they came back in a little bit. So if you're trying to trade this for a short-term trade, make sure that you get your gains booked before we get any type of regression back to the mean on this. But that is the catalyst that's driving this here. If we take a look at the daily chart here, you can see we've traded ENVB off the scanner a bunch before. It has a history of popping and dropping. We were actually coming off of a new low here. We popped above a double bottom that we've used as support before. So just something to keep in mind there. 13, did you have anything of note on ENVB?
It just has a 2.7 million share float, so it's easily pushed around. That licensing deal, non-binding, didn't really have any figures attached to it that I saw at the moment. I'm kind of with Smoked Tuna. I don't think there's really going to be a whole lot here. That isn't to say that this doesn't get pushed around all the way up to 5 or whatever, but I don't think that news is quite as material as some of these other news headlines that we're seeing out here.
Yeah, I don't think it is material as the 2 that we saw yesterday, especially the one on Vanny. But worth noting that this is moving here. Smoked Tuna, I'm not even touching it. He says, so that should give you some indication. Smoked Tuna, you're normally all over these. We'll see if ENVB actually sets up a trade, and we'll see if it's a heartbreaker, right? Does this come into a VWAP, look like it's going to bounce, and then knife away from the VWAP? We've seen that plenty of times too. So ENVB, first one on the list here. Next is going to be SCTL. I think this is a takeover.
Yeah. No, it's a no touch.
It's a no touch there. Okay, yeah, we'll just keep moving on.
It's getting bought out at 110, and it's just 3 cents away. So
yep. That's I don't want to flip over to the well, you know what? I've got it actually on another one here. Yeah. By the way, RBC Capital downgraded that stock. Okay. Volcon next here. We don't have any fresh news here on Volcon. This is ticker VLCN. We did pop just above 3 earlier today, sold all the way back down to nearly 150. So we gave up 50% of of the stock's value here. Looks like we're trying to bounce and retake VWAP. This thing seems volatile here in the pre-market. You got any levels or anything specific here for VLCN?
Well, they had a new CEO take up a position yesterday. That was why it was moving yesterday. So I think today is more on relative volume. This is a 1.16 million share float, and they actually had a reverse split earlier this month on the 5th, 1 for 45. That's really all I've got with this. So I think this is just, a carryover from yesterday.
Yeah, and I think you're probably right on that. Next here is going to be JL. I saw this one earlier. I am not sure what to make of this. J-Long Group Limited declared a special cash dividend in the aggregate amount of $6 million. I'm not actually even sure what this company does. Let's see. It's established distributor in Hong Kong of reflective and non-reflective garment trims. Okay. So not sure how that business
Sweatshop
works here.
company?
I mean, that's kind of, I didn't, that's kind of what it feels like. I don't know about this. The way that this thing moves, it's just so thin and comes all the way back in. This has me nervous. I'm mentioning it because it gapped up here. Maybe you guys are able to hit this. I would be very, very careful if this is one that you're trading here today. I can't make heads or tails of this. I'm open to hearing it from the group, but this is not one that I would feel good trading at all.
Yeah, I think that if I feel at all compelled to trade this, it's going to be quick in and outs, if anything.
Yeah, and small size. Small size. I'd be curious to know what this actually looks like in terms of spread and liquidity when the market actually opens. We'll see.
It does have a 10 million share float, so it could get pushed around fairly easily. But I don't feel good about this one. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, me either. So trying to be honest with you when we come across some of these. Now the next one here is a little bit different. It is one of the old girlfriends is coming back. RVSN. This is of course
knocking on the door.
She's knocking on the door. Remember this? We talked about this. About one of the potential catalysts here being infrastructure spending and all of that. Well, RVSN is back here today. We did pop almost as high as 550 there. We do have a PR here. Rail Vision joins NVIDIA Metropolis to boost railway safety systems. Now, I'm not sure how great. Let's see if okay, there we go. We're loading it pretty quickly.
That's Rail Vision's whole thing is railway safety. And using AI for that. So this is, they use the buzzword NVIDIA.
Well, I was just going to say, so we add this to the list of companies that have some type of dealing with NVIDIA. We had, what would we have on that? We had NNOX, BMR. We had 4 stocks, and I can never remember all of them. Chat, help me out.
I think
it wasn't Hollow. It wasn't Hollow.
I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try and
find it. What's going?
Well, no, you know what though? I noted that somewhere in one of my Slack channels, and I can't find it, and that's why I keep forgetting all of these names. But it's NNOX, BMR, SOUN. Which one? I'm forgetting one. We can add RVSN, RX. Thank you, Market Sniper. In fact, you were the one that helped me remember that one the last time that I struggled with this. So extra points for being consistent.
And Soundhound, that's right.
Soundhound. So we've got NNOX, RX, SOUN, BMR, and now I guess you can add RVSN to that. I think that this one will actually provide some trading opportunities here today. If we fast forward here, you can see we did pop almost, like I said, almost as high as 550. We've come back in. We've held this 350. We're about 65 cents away from the VWAP here. We'll see if that gets reclaimed. Volume looks pretty good. The last time we've traded this, the volume maintained throughout the course of the day. If we get that again, that should help here with RVSN. Not saying I know that this is going to trade to the upside, but we're checking a lot of the boxes here that we've been able to do before. So looks like we've got another one added to that list here.
Yeah, and this thing went all the way up to 23.37. Let's see, last month before it came in this month. So this has the potential to get up in double digits again.
Yep, and look at the daily chart here. It's a huge gap up, but maybe we're curling back up here. So. Okay, interesting stuff there. Next one here is going to be Sidus. This is Sidus Space. Looks like my news feed is snappy all of a sudden now. So that's awesome. I didn't see any fresh news for Sidus here. Seeing a pretty nice chart formation here in the pre-market. Would love to see this consolidation area get taken out, but it's really good that we're so far holding the VWAP level. We'll see if we can actually push away and make a run towards some of those highs here. Ticker SIDU.
This could be LUNR 2.0.
Ooh, so explain that.
So they have a launch scheduled for March. I don't have the exact day, but I think that's part of the reason why it's moving. Because we didn't get, they announced that news a day or two ago, and we didn't really get a whole lot of movement. So this may be just a little bit late to the party, and we're currently filling a gap right now, which goes all the way up to about 850. At least that's what I have on my broker. So I'm not sure
you're spot on with that. Here, that might be a little bit difficult to see, but here it is. You're right on with that. I got 858 here, but that's effectively the same thing.
So this could move on that excitement. I don't know what they're launching or how big of a deal it is, but this is getting the same excitement that Lunar did from their launch. This company hasn't launched yet, but they're scheduled to launch next month. I'll try to get some more info on this, but other than that, they did a 100 for one reverse split on December 20th, and they have a 2.69 million share float.
Okay. So there you go. Saidu, this one may be in play here today. Looking good so far. Okay, we already talked about RVSN. Looks like Polestar is ripping here in the pre-market. So they are reporting earnings this morning. Looks like they had a conference call earlier today. Polestar reported Nanjing, Economic and Technological Development Zone Industrial Equity Investment Partnership to purchase shares of JV for $208.4 million USD. Okay, looks like Polestar lands a fresh $950 million in covered media business needs, business outlook confirmed. So it looks like we're getting some good news here out of Polestar. Haven't gone through it myself. Kind of soured on the EV stocks as a whole here. Polestar really ripping, though. Maybe it looks like it's finding some resistance there at 230.
Yeah, I'm just okay. So I don't have any information on this one. I didn't look at this, but seeing that they got $950 million that's a pretty good injection to their market cap of 3.8 billion. So that's definitely going to help lift this, not knowing that there's that cash on hand. But their float is 467 million shares. So this is really pushing it. This is really moving. That news is really moving this stock that size in a positive way. So I don't know how wild this will be, given that size of float. But this could be one of those slower moving ones that just kind of creeps its way to the top. That's about all I could see with this one. I don't know that this is going to necessarily provide those quick trades that we're looking for.
Polestar's ticker, KChat, is PSNY. That is Papa Sierra November Yankee. That should give you Polestar here. The other thing to note here, about 233 might be a potential break spot if this does keep trading up. We are at a resistance area, so let's see if we can clear that resistance area out and move higher from here. We'll see what we can do about that. Okay, another one that I wanted to mention here is going to be AI. This is one that we've talked about quite a bit before. This is, of course, Ticker AI. The company's name is C3 AI. They reported earnings yesterday, and they are trading higher here today. So I know that AI absolutely benefits from its ticker literally being AI and us being in an artificial intelligence craze. But even if you don't like the stock, even if the stock is expensive to own on an investment basis, or if you care about fundamentals, all of that's fine. Still provides trades. Looks like this is actually trying to take out 36 and maybe make a run here. If we take a look at the daily chart here, you can see from the last time that we pushed up towards 50, we've kind of come back in. We've actually now popped above this consolidation area, which was between 25 and 30, give or take a little bit on either end here. So now it looks like we're trying to enter the next consolidation area. I had that at about 36 up to 45. So let's see if we can get into that area and chop around in there. I know Lynn and Randy have traded AI a whole bunch. We've actually seen some of the smaller names move based off what AI is doing in the market here. So it's absolutely one to watch. No position on this, but looking strong here today, doing a decent job holding above its VWAP.
Born to be Free saying that CNBC had an article that the SEC thinks that there's a problem at C3 AI. And
okay,
I think this is something that we've talked about before, about how This company just has a really good CEO that knows how to promote his company, but there's just not a whole
Yep.
lot there with this company. They just have the really good ticker. And seeing how this company's trading up into the after hours and pre-market, this could probably end up helping lift some of these other AI names as well. So that's something to keep in mind.
And to your point about the CEO being a very, very good salesman, part of the reason the stock is so heavily traded and up here, keep in mind that they're actually going to present. We've got a PR here this morning, C3 AI, to present at 2 investor conferences on March 4th. So depending on what happens at those conferences, put that one on your calendar. That could absolutely affect this ticker. March 4th, by the way, is Monday. That's this next Monday here. So it looks like the Morgan Stanley Technology, Media, and Telecom Conference in San Francisco. That's 8 a.m. Pacific time. What is that Eastern time? 11? Am I doing my math right? Someone check me on that. I think that's 11 a.m. Eastern time, right when our show ends here. And then also the JPM Securities Technology Conference, also in San Francisco. That one's starting an hour and a half later, 9:30 a.m. Pacific.
Yep, Jay hit it. That's it. This thing about that's the ticker is the only good thing about this.
Yep. And that's what we're trying.
And their CEO, man, if we had more CEOs like that with some of these other companies.
Can you imagine if this CEO was Inod's CEO and was selling the product that actually makes money over there?
Sure.
The stock would probably be 2-3x. Jay, this is a really good point. When someone asks me, hey, you got an AI stock that you think I should buy? I've never once said ticker AI. Okay. So never once. So we just want to, throw that out there. That doesn't mean that day trades can't be made. That doesn't mean that day trades can't be made. So let's keep that in mind here. AI definitely moving. Couple more, I think. Well, we're running out of time here. We got 4 minutes till the market opens. I did really quickly want to mention LASE. We've traded this one here before. We had a huge pop up towards 190, retraced almost the entire move here. It'll be yet to be seen if this actually provides a secondary move, but we've traded it before. And then, of course, as we already talked about, we talked about SOUN. A lot of these AI names, especially the ones that are tied up with NVIDIA, seem to have staying power. The other thing to mention here real quick is just kind of a continuation from yesterday. Bitcoin was wild yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Traded up to, I think, on the futures here, I had a high of 64,000. Just above 64,000. We actually tested that level again. So on the futures chart here, this was at 5:30 Central, so 6:30 a.m. Eastern time today. We actually retested 64 and were rejected. We're trading up to that level again here, not quite getting there, but wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin produces more fireworks here today. That's going to affect stocks like CLSK that you're seeing on your screen here, all the usual suspects: Mara, Riot, Coinbase, MicroStrategy, BTBT, HUT, some of the ETFs. All of those seem to be in play here. I know a lot of people are talking about the halving and all of that. I'll just say this. I'm glad to be long Bitcoin. In fact, last night while I was setting up my new laptop, I just let my desktop mine because I haven't mined in what feels like months. And I was like, if Bitcoin's going back up, might as well get some free Bitcoin added to my account. So we'll see there on BTC.
Yeah, with Bitcoin, I'm looking at the daily chart, and this thing has just exploded over the past several days. And the concern for me is that there's going to be either some point very soon where we kind of just slow down, consolidate before we try to make the new all-time highs, or we come in a little bit. But it's really looking like we're headed towards new all-time highs this year. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. I think we're going beyond 69,000.
Yeah, so do I. You had a really good comment the other day when you had mentioned that I think it was something along the lines of, if this pops or you're going to get a big run. I can't remember exactly what it is that you said, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, so I'll just let you remember that. But I agree with you. I think that these highs are for sure getting taken out. I would imagine it's probably going to be pretty soon. I've been on record saying I wouldn't be shocked even a little bit at a 100K Bitcoin price print. I would not be surprised to get that. Wouldn't even be surprised to see if we get that here soon. I also think Bitcoin's going to be an election issue this year. So I think no matter what Bitcoin does right now, no matter where the story goes or how the asset actually trades, I don't think this is over. I think there's going to be extreme volatility. And as traders, if we're able to figure out good entries and exits on that, we should be able to make some money off that.
Yeah, and we got 30 seconds till the open.
Look at that. We timed that almost perfect.
We did
that almost perfect.
Now we can take a breath
Look
before
at
we start
JL.
trading.
Look at JL. You know what? I'm actually going to take some time to remind everybody that the stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool, the best prop firm out there. Huge pool of stocks. Get over that 25K threshold if you need, or up to 260K buying power. That's the broker we're going to use to execute trades. Let's go get it.
Here we go. 5 seconds.
I tried to time that without looking at a clock, and I was only 4 seconds off. That's not bad, actually.
All right,
okay, I'm going to stay on the scanner here until we find some targets. Then I'll flip over to Trade the Pool here. LASE first move down out of the gate.
Yeah, I just was looking at the SPY, see what happens here out of the open. We're going to get back into, are we going to get back up above, what is the high actually that we made? I can't remember.
In which ticker? Sorry,
was
like
okay. So we got as high as 510.13. I wonder if we're going to touch that today.
I mean, we're not far from that. We're less than 2 full points from that. I wouldn't be surprised. Looking at the market here, a lot of stuff popping. Apple popping, Amazon popping here. So it looks like that data print this morning driving the market green here. Looking at the S&P heat map here, it is almost all green. I expect to see some more red tick into that over the course of the day, but so far, so good. Bitcoin right back up to that 64K level. We'll see if that gets taken out.
Okay, this in more.
Having a good day in the main account again. Let's get it done. Okay, LASE. I don't know. I don't think that's got a setup here yet.
Your ex-girlfriend LAES is turning.
LAES? Or
yeah, unless he was referring to LASE, but
yeah,
I was looking at what Scotty was saying.
I think so.
Well,
let's see here. So let's see if it's correct. LAES.
SIDU. I mean,
good morning.
It looks like this wants to go to 750 and higher, but it's it's just not moving.
LAE. This is Lithium Americas. Beck's calling this one here. This had a huge move yesterday. This looks like it's holding up here today. Jay, I know you've been kind of looking at the uranium, maybe some more rare earth. Let me know if you know anything about LAAC, if you like Lithium Americas here. This stock looks like it's doing a decent job holding gains. Let's see if 5 gets attacked there.
Yeah, I was asked recently if lithium was coming back, and I was telling them like, yeah, EVs are kind of out of favor right now, but is lithium coming back?
I don't know the answer to that. What is going on with my all types of issues here? Okay, ENV, no, it's working fine. ENVB broke through that VWAP coming back in. Smoke Tuna, your call here about not touching this. So far, so good. ENVB looking real weak. We'll see if this firms up here. It's another spot to keep in mind here, maybe 163. Maybe 138 and maybe 113 or 110 down there. So we'll see. Let me take a look at Vanny here. Continuation from yesterday on Vanny as that's moving through the VWAP. Were you calling bets? BETS?
BETS. Look at it. Yeah, yep. It's running.
It is running here out of the gate.
Yeah. So I saw some of these
market.
Yeah, I saw some of these names from yesterday getting ready to go today. I think. Even Agrify, which had a horrible day yesterday because of an offering, is rebounding today. So there are some names that are showing back up.
Speaking of offering, my God, Portillo's has one good day after earnings, and then they report an offering in the afternoon. I will say this: I'm still in it. I'm going to stick around this trade until I can, make the most of it. But I think at this point, it's official. I'm sorry I even brought that up here. It has been an awful investment from the very beginning. It has not worked at all. The management company continues to fall on their face. They said that they weren't going to do financing. Now that they've done it twice, I'll keep you posted on that, but I'm sorry for even mentioning Portillo's. I'm sorry that my Chicago institution has been such a damn disappointment.
Palantir is running. Oh, man, we were just talking about this morning.
Yeah, we were. By the way, RVSN, Rail Vision, falling out of that consolidation area. Let's see if it firms up on a new support area here. PLT. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say the thing that I was talking about with Ryan with Palantir is how this I'm waiting for a pullback, maybe under $20 to get into this because I'd like to own this for a longer haul. They seem to have a really good business going on here with a lot of great growth, great margins. So it's really starting to look interesting to me. Just need to do a little bit more research on it, but I wanted to come back in.
Yeah, I like Palantir too, but I'm just not in the habit of buying it. I mean, we've been we traded this when it was single digits, and so like it's just not palatable for me to be buying a long-term position here in the 20s. I've seen what it's done before, but I'm with you on this. The more I look at this one, the more I watch it, the more I read about it, the more I like it.
Jeez. So, smoked tuna, you're saying you're holding from 7 and they're looking for it to go to 500. Let me ask you something. Do you follow Tom Nash? Because that's the only other person who I've heard of say he's holding to 500.
Born, you're absolutely right about that. Such is life at this point. The damn wheels are falling off everything. Portillo needs an AI manager mention in the earnings, and it will go. That's not even wrong. That is absolutely the case. I would at this point, Born, I would take that. I would take that. Give me 25, 30 on some AI fluff print, and I'm out. That's some funny stuff.
So 500 is from okay. Because I remember watching some videos that he was talking about Palantir, and he was mentioning that he thinks it's worth 500. So that's why I was asking about that. It's interesting. But
VLCN, this is Volcon. We talked about this making a move to the VWAP. We'll see if this ends up moving above that VWAP here. AI continuing its push to the highs here, 36.62.
Yeah, Rail Vision went all the way back down to where it was before the pop. It said, thanks for the money. Goodbye.
Smoke Tuna saying 500 is a joke, or is it? Take a look at NVIDIA or SMCI.
I don't think it's necessarily a joke. I don't know that it's going to run like NVIDIA or SMCI has. I think that's just a different kind of theme that drove those. But I think because of what Palantir is doing, what they have in terms of a product and their margins, they have a really good shot at getting to at least 100. I think 500. I'm not sure yet, but we've seen this market do crazy things, so I can't say it's not impossible.
VLCN here. This made a move right to that VWAP and stopped here. Looks like it's consolidating and not breaking out. I'd be curious to know if this is the resistance spot off that bounce trade, or if it breaks through here. Looks like it's pulling back a little bit now on VLCN.
Smoke Tuna mentioning Coke, COCH.
COCH. I actually see that on the scanner as well here. This is Envoy Medical. This is actually above the VWAP here. Let me flip over to trade the pool, because if we get some of these things that we could actually trade, go ahead and do that here. Bang, bang, bang. I was looking at Fastly earlier. That swing trade's still working out. Happy with that one. We were just looking at COCH. Let me bring that up here. Okay, back to VWAP here. Take a look at some of the usual suspects. SOUN. This looking like this is going for highs here. SOUN. Right at those pre-market highs. Let's see if it breaks through here, or if it retreats from this area.
That's a good point, Born.
IFBD, this is just, I don't see this doing anything. I know InfoBird ran recently, but I think that's probably over.
Yeah, they were running for a different reason, I thought. Let me see here.
We're getting a question here about Airbnb. This is, I'll say this one. I would have been negative on Airbnb because of the consumer tightening. Now, I think you probably have the consumer finishing up some traveling here. The chart actually looks good on the daily. You can see we're actually pushing up here. This actually looks like this might want to break out past 158 on Airbnb. I'm just kind of negative on the consumer as a whole. Maybe that's wrong. Airbnb has continued to perform pretty well, but it does look like it's coming up to a resistance area here. So it's either a breakout or a breakdown, I think.
Yeah,
Sell H being mentioned. Sorry, go ahead, 13.
I personally don't like Airbnb's business model. That isn't to say it couldn't do well, but I just don't like their business model.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. A couple of you guys mentioning Sell H, Celsius Holdings. This reported earnings, I believe. Let me make sure I'm getting that right here. I don't want to make that mistake. That's an obvious one. So conference call scheduled today for 10. Earnings were this morning. Celsius Holdings are trading higher after they reported those earnings. Really quickly, that number, EPS 17 cents, beat the 15-cent estimate. Sales 347 million, beat the 331 million estimate. So this moving higher here. I don't see Celsius defended by analysts after sales growth shines again. So, okay, here's the thing about the Celsius drink. This is definitely a good move here. This one clearly in favor right now. Well, this is another thing that we discussed on Happy Hour. These energy drinks can be very, very short-lived. All of a sudden, there's a new product that hits the market. It becomes the trendy or fad one, and then the old ones are kind of forgotten about. I feel like Celsius could easily fit into that. Now, this morning, we got a power candle out of the open here. Let's see if we take out the highs from that print here this morning. There we go. Celsius even higher now into a 70 handle.
I'm looking over at the solar stocks. They're up. Like TAN, the solar ETF, that's up almost 5% on the PCE news. So I think that the idea that rates are getting cut sooner than later is starting to move around the market sentiment.
Yeah, Daniel Torres, as far as Airbnb goes, this to me seems like the logical step, right? First of all, Airbnb continuing to break out above that 158. In fact, new highs here, 158.99. New recent highs here. Daniel's saying Airbnb could heat up moving into the summer. Just a thought. I think that's true. Well, it'll be curious to see how many bookings there are. The other thing is that we've heard reports, especially out of like the Arizona area, that there are a lot of people selling their Airbnbs. It just is not feasible to have it anymore with the interest rates the way that they are. But stock doesn't seem to care about that. 159 prints here today. We back off that level.
Just looking at some of these movers from yesterday moving again today, but they're just coming right back in after their move. Like ADIL right now is pushing to intraday highs, but still not as high as it was yesterday when it got to 287.
No, volume actually looks pretty decent there. Coupang moving higher here. Didn't they just report earnings? I'm pretty sure it was yesterday or something like that. Coupang moving higher here.
Somebody mentioning Mara.
You had mentioned the solar stocks earlier. ENPH here at the highs. That's likely driving TAN. Did we have a ENPH? Let me see what's going on here with ENPH. I feel like, wasn't Jay telling us about the $11 million? Yeah, this is insider buys here. So we had this morning here. ENPH. As of yesterday, we had the president and CEO bought 4,000 shares of Enphase at 120.54. So that is a recent CEO buy, 4,000 shares there. OCEA getting volume. Let's check that. I know Bex mentioned this just a second ago here. Looks like this is get Bex on top of that one early. Good job.
Looks like Rail Vision's trying to find a bottom. I don't know that this is going to come back up and trade like it did this in pre-market, but it's trying to find a bottom.
VLCN might be trying to finally move through its VWAP here. SHLS, a solar name, whacked on earnings. So I almost think then that Enphase has to be on that insider buy, no?
Oh, wow. Look at ADIL just popped to almost $2 and then just came right back in.
Snow doing a decent job holding here so far. God, we're already 10 points off that 50-day moving average level. That was 176, right? 170. This went as low as 172. This thing's already $15 off that. Maybe try some snow here.
BMR is looking interesting. It's very, very slow moving right now, but it went up to 855 in pre-market and it's come back in. But the wicks that it's making on the bottom of these candles makes me think that this could try to push higher. Excuse me.
You're good. I might try to day trade some snow here. I'm gonna wait this out a sec instead of just buying it right here. I hope that I don't regret that. Let's see if it comes back in towards VWAP. Might try and trade some snow here today. As far as a swing trade, though, I definitely want to wait this out. I definitely don't want to be too early to it. I'm not going to swing it in this account, already swinging 2 positions, which reminds me, maybe we should close TGTX here. We finally got a really good move yesterday. Maybe we'll get another move here today. You know what, 13, we're going to put a stop out here for this last bit. Then we can just forget about it.
BMR huge sales order coming. Let me scroll back down to that.
There is the stop on TGT. Oh, Looks like it just actually filled the limit. It didn't hold the control button. Okay, so put the wrong order in there. At least we took gains on that. So that swing trade completely closed now. We actually ended up selling out in 5 different sell orders in order to close that swing after I think 3 buys. So TGTX finally booked all of those gains. Time to move on. I was going to put a stop in there, but I didn't hold control and fat fingered the entry there. So on to the next. At least it was for a gain. BLCN still struggling with that VWAP cross here. And then I typed in the wrong ticker. I'll be honest with you, that menu is a bit annoying. ENVB, Smoke Tuno, great call on this one. This has really not been able to get above its VWAP. Let's see what Zim is doing here today.
It's well, I'm not going to say it's trying to find the bottom, but it's kind of just, it's hanging out there around VWAP.
Born, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm actually still waiting for some more details on him. I know he's still involved in the market, but I think that he's focusing on his newborns. If I get some more information on that, I'll pass it along, but I don't have it yet. By the way, Airbnb, we talked about that really kind of ripping above that 158 level, actually printed as high as 160 and backed off that. We did have 160 prints there. So Airbnb, nice push out of the open here, but backing off of that. Root continuing. Looks like this has been we should have just swung this.
Yeah.
COCH is open. Is this trying to go higher here, or is this going to break down, guys?
It looks like it's trying to move higher. See, if you look from yesterday when it popped toward the in after hours, it's going through a bit of a supply area here. And I think once we get through that and get into the 460s, 470s, it's probably going to be able to move up more freely. But we'll have to see.
VLCN looks like it tried to take its VWAP here. I'm going to try some right here at 205. I'm going to have a pretty tight stop on this. I want this. Basically, what I'm looking for here on VLCN is a move away from this VWAP towards this high, which has some size. If this breaks, it probably pops, and we can take gains on that. Here we go. Let's see if we can break that 210. All right. Can we hold 210 as they keep bringing it under that 210 level? Up. Come on. Come on. Pop that 217. Pop that 217. Let me get some green on the screen here early.
Ooh, she's trying.
She's trying, isn't she? There's 217. Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Looks like 220 is the big level to get on that one.
I was going to say some of that size might have reshuffled for that 220 level. Let's see if we can break this 217 right here. This is actually a decent one. Kind of went in small, just a couple. Ooh, they brought in a bid there at 214.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks like it's kind of trying to move up some more.
Oh, they took right beneath it. Oh, man. Let's see. Come on. 220. I know we said 217 initially. Let's see if we can push back up towards that 220.
Got some EMAs about to cross the 65 EMA. I think that's and the VWAP for me. So this, to me, it looks like this is trying to get up into the 250s.
The VLCN?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely stalling out here at 217. I do see the size above at 220.
It just keeps growing too. But if a big enough order comes in to eat that up, it's gonna go
higher.
Move.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're waiting for here. Definitely don't want this to go red, especially after this move. Yeah. And I really think that if this can hold this 210, it's got a chance of going higher here. Went back towards 210 and just lost it. And it's red now. That's exactly what I did. That is exactly what I didn't want. And I was exactly right on the levels too. As soon as 210 fell, that was it. All right, gotta hope this pops back to the green and we keep a real tight stop here around 2. What a B. Son of a B, folks. That's what you get when you trade some of these crappier names. Come on, go green again. Go green again for me. There we go.
Yeah, maybe if it holds two, it should be
Frustrating.
able to go up
Frustrating.
again.
I had that just in too small size here. Google taking the next leg up here, so Google looking really strong. Ah, man, I wish we were in a better environment where this was easier. This strategy has really, really not been great recently. Let's see if I can get this back into the green and close this thing up here. Good call on Adil. Okay, awesome. What a D move. I don't think I know what you're referring to.
Down move? I don't know.
Dugan asking about INOD. We'll take a look here at INOD in a sec. Just let me get out of this mess. I'm just going to take it right here and just get it off. We had that. We had that flagged and it just didn't quite work. Here's INOD. Let's take, oops, that's Indo. INOD. Here is INOD. This doing a good job holding that 7 level. So remember, I added here very, very small, high 7s. Was going to maybe add back in the mid to high 6s, which is where my second position started at. So far, so good. I don't know where we're going to see this one go. I think that this is worth more than it is. I think that short attack was kind of shady and shenanigan-like. But in any case, doing all right here. Still holding this pretty small in my main account.
Yeah, I mean, I picked some up and it was under 7, so I think for sure this is and I'm just letting it ride. So
Portillo's, let's see if this comes back.
Looks like Fastly's still having a hard time with 1450.
Yeah, that's fast. That has been the spot on Fastly. That 1450 has clearly been a spot. We'll see if that gets broken here today. Does look like that's bottom has been put in.
Archer coming back to 5. Yeah, that was. I was expecting Archer to be lower for a little while longer, but the PC report today is pushing it.
VLCN right back up to that 210 level. Looks like it tested some of that 220. Some of that size is gone. Some of the size has been moved back down. So VLCN, this might not be over yet. Hollow getting mentioned here by multiple people in the chat. Let's see on Hollow. This is starting to push away from that VWAP. Here we go.
Well, Hollow.
Tuna and I are in sync. And Rock the Trader. How's it going, Rock?
VLCN
on Hollow. Let me know what levels you have here on Hollow. Sorry, 13. Go ahead.
That's right. VLCN. This looks like it still wants to try to get above some of these areas it was topping out at, maybe above 225. This is the one that was getting stuck at 220, and it has. Okay, I still see the size there at 216 and 220.
Yep.
It's still looking like it's trying to work its way through that. Haven't really, broken down. So just something to keep in mind.
Okay, let's look around here at some other stuff.
Yeah, just kind of looking for some setups.
OMDS. That's high, but that's on such low volume. This is another disaster long-term play that I'm still in, just bag holding. I just noticed it was popping, but it wasn't really popping on volume. iPower still looking pretty good here. I think this Ideal Power, they report earnings today. I got a good feeling. We'll see if I'm right or wrong about that. Amazon ripping to the upside here on Amazon. 74, that butterfly still cranking. That butterfly, one of the better ones for me. All right.
I like that VLCN is still getting some decent volume. It's just, it needs just a little bit more to push through those big levels we were mentioning. I'm not in this, but it looks like it wants to take this higher than 225, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, Zoltan, I'm sorry. They did report here this morning. Conference call scheduled at 10. iPower did report ahead of earnings here today. Had a gap EPS 39-cent loss, beat the 42-cent loss estimate. Say again, Saidu?
That one's starting to move.
Let me bring this up while I'm reading out those numbers. Yep, right to that VWAP. Good call here, 13.
I think call. 720 seems to be the level it wants to get some closes over.
Betty Boop in some Amazon calls. That is the good day to be in Amazon calls. ICU getting mentioned here.
ICU too.
See what you did there. Penny stock on ICU. the VLCN, this actually doing a decent job. I think this probably goes. Maybe we'll try hitting this again. Anyway, Ideal Power did report its earnings here this morning. Sales 61,000 up from 16,000 the year before. So clearly still in its infancy here, but this is good. This report, I'm going to go through this report. Zoltan, let me know if you went through this already.
CXAI is getting a pop here out of this consolidation it's been putting in since the open. Moving through pre-market highs. It's already, yeah, okay. So CXAI, that's the one I'm looking at right now. Oh, yeah. But yeah, CXAI, this is starting to move here. And the levels I have for this one is probably headed up to 275 and then 290.
Jake wants to ask you, what cavern do you come from, bearded man? I don't know if this is a troll or not. So
the one with all the paintings of stocks. I have chart paintings in my cave.
Okay, I'm having.
And then I have
a
little
too
dudes
much
throwing
fun here
spears at where he thinks the price is going.
Oh, you guys. I love starting my day with this group. You're a big part of that, 13.
I'm just riding that wave.
LOL. This chat should win YouTube Comedy Chat of 2024. Was that a tavern or a cavern? Okay, I'm gonna try. You guys are.
I have a tavern in my cavern.
Okay, we're gonna try to get this.
And Dr. Seuss is invited.
We're gonna try to get this back down.
Oh, here we go.
Here.
Coke is trying to get going. It looks like CDU is starting to take off. No pun intended, but kind of.
Saidu breaking those intraday highs right up at those pre-market highs. A little bit of size here. Let me check in on VLCN. That was kind of the one that I was watching. Kind of rolled back over here. Maybe I'm glad I'm not fighting that one. Pure Storage, by the way, this is one that reported earnings. This looks like a gap and go here on Pure Storage.
What's going on with storage? Because not this company, but storage in general. Because somebody was mentioning Cube yesterday, and they are a storage company as well.
Does this have to do with AI and data servers and stuff? That would be my guess.
No, this is like personal storage. Like people putting their stuff and keeping it there for a while. Not.
Oh yeah, storage. Okay, I got you.
But public storage or warehouses, things like that. Maybe people just aren't able to afford their homes anymore, and they're just downsizing, so they need a place to put their stuff, and that's why I don't know. I don't know what the reason for the. But Cube actually has earnings after the close today. So
interesting. Well, Pure Storage, I'm pretty sure is data storage.
There you go. Smoke tuna summer travel, possibly. Yeah.
So Pure Storage, real quick. Pure Storage, a US-based company that provides enterprise data storage. So this one probably not related here to Cube.
Yeah.
But interesting there. Nonetheless, Jay Rice saying, did you know today? I don't even know if I can pronounce this. Bisextial Day. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I've actually been fooled by this joke before. So I'm going to say, yes, I did know that today is leap year. I thought because this word is complicated and, could be mistaken for being dirty. Yeah, I've been fooled on this one before, but not today, Jay. Yes, I did know today is leap day. Leap day.
Just looking around, seeing what's still moving. Looks like Saidu had a nice pop to, where'd they get to? 780. Came back in a bit. The pre-market high is 812. Still think it's possible for that one to get up there. Rail Vision trying to, show some signs of life, not really doing much.
Yeah, real quick. Okay, so we're just going to go through a couple things. Zoltan, first of all, VLCN, one we were just looking at, big knife here. Very, very. This is why I wanted to get out of it so quickly. Didn't trade this one as well as I could have, but I'm not in here for the knife, so that's awesome. Careful with this one. Zoltan, really helpful here on the shout out regarding iPower. This is kind of what I've been waiting for. This is a quote from the press release here. Strong momentum continues with participants in our test and evaluation program, particularly for solid state circuit breakers and hybrid electric vehicle applications. We expect to convert large OEMs into design wins and or additional custom development agreements this year. Revenues seem low because they're not actively commercialized. The SimCool and B-Trans. This is going to change. So don't have the reaction that I want yet, but this is definitely good news, definitely good earnings. I'm really glad to not see the stock getting pounded here after the earnings. Really good stuff there. Okay. Let's see when we catch up here real quick. You guys are doing great. I asked Siri how many times the leap year comes. She responded, "That's what I found on the web." I don't understand that joke. I'll ask Siri that later now that I can ask Siri. Okay. Good stuff. We do have a special guest here for you today. We do have Steve Kaligian. We brought him on before. Steve, you ready? Can I get a thumbs up that you're ready to come on? All right. Steve, how you doing today, my man?
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you?
We're doing all right.
Crazy morning. Have S&P's flow from 63 above 5,100. Number came in pretty much in line. Your markets, for all those people who are bearish, market's not ready yet, And on the close,
tell me about it.
On the close today, I mean, I think we're getting there, but I the high 51.23 on the S&Ps. I think we're gonna go a bit higher than that, and I think there'll be a short-term top somewhere above that in the next week or so. But I'm getting a big buy today on the close. If the Russell closes above the 204.60, I'm going to get a monster buy signal on the monthly on the Russell. So that means any pullbacks. And that monthly hasn't happened in about a year and a half. So
real quick, Steve, I'm trying to bring this up here for the visual aid. You're saying that if you get a close above this green candle, the December monthly candle, you're looking at that being real bullish.
Oh my God, it's monster bullish on the monthly. Monster.
Hey, look, I'm in a lot of small caps. I'm with you on that. Give me that close, baby. Let's do it.
Actually,
Let's do it.
I can run back to I can give the exact number. I think the number was 204.64. Let me just give me 1 second. I can just go look really quick here.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what number that is. I have the number of the December monthly candle here, that high at 205.49, but I definitely want to know what your level is. When we get Steve back here, go check that level for us. All right, awesome.
It's 204.75. So
204.75.
So it closed today because today's leap year, right? Obviously, right? And the month ends today. We get a close on the IWMs above 204.75. You have a monster monthly buy. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to go straight up from here, okay? It means that any pullback, the way you trade this is based upon my research. You use multiple time frames, right? So you would then look to buy any pullbacks on the hourly or on the daily. And the projection, if you take the measured move, could propel it to 223, 224 on the IWMs. And the way to play that also is you could look at the TNAs as well, which is the double long.
So you're looking for that ETF that is actually levered. This is the 3x levered bull IWM ETF. Yeah,
because you can buy more of the TNA than you could buy of the IWM. So a lot of retail people like to buy more shares of, even though the percentage is almost the same.
Yeah, DB here saying keep selling IWM. Rates are not coming down anywhere near as much as the market thinks. I'll say this: I don't think we're getting all the rate cuts that the market thinks we're getting.
I agree.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just going based upon technicals. I can't ignore my technicals here. So.
Absolutely. And you know what, Steve? This market has been trading on technicals, so you're absolutely right to say that. Well, what other setups do you have? I know we talked about the IWM and the SPY.
So I had monster shorts this morning on non-confirmations on MSTR, Coinbase, and Tesla this morning. I'm getting big buy reversals for intraday on the Qs, on Meta, NVIDIA. So you're going to get some really great pullbacks today by 1 o'clock on the 15-minute time frames. And then for intraday, I think that you're going to propel upward later on. I agree, going back, I'm not a fundamentalist at all, and, so everything I do is based on all pure technicals using the work that I have. So today, I think anybody who's shorting the market, I think you're going to be okay for scalps and things like that, but the real pullbacks are really bullish here today.
Yeah,
So,
and so real quickly, so I've actually been in that bearish camp for a long time, and exactly what you're saying is true. The market is just not ready yet.
not
That
ready.
trade has not worked. In fact, the only successful bear trades that I've booked, Steve, have been scalps, like you just said.
100%.
I've not been able to hit a big move down. I'm at the point now where if you can't beat them, join them.
No. No. I don't join them up at these levels.
No. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not taking new positions on the actual market, but I am definitely looking for upside plays here as opposed to trying to position the short.
Alpha. Even the last 2 days when the volume was down 34%, there were some still great moves. And I look at the same names every single day. I mean, everything's based upon, in my opinion, in close to 41 years in the industry, based upon technical analysis, right? And the way I look at my technicals, you're going to get great longs today setting up, and what's wrong with if the Qs pull in and you get $1.50 long 3 or 4 times on the Qs and you trade Meta. I just had a monster buy in Meta, just ran $3 and Nvidia just ran $5. So these buy divergences that I get, you got MSTR that just trades 95.5 and you blink and it's 10.15, 10.18. So there's longs to be made intraday. It's just the software that I have gives me the ability to see that. But as far as rate cuts are concerned, the rate cuts aren't going to come until probably July or August, and then obviously right before the election. And I don't think there's going to be 2. And so I don't think that you're going to get any rate cuts before that. But I don't really care about rate cuts. I'm looking at what's right in front of me.
That makes sense. 13, are you in the same boat there as far as rate cuts? I know that this is something we discuss all the time in terms of the timing.
I still think that rate cuts are coming in the second half of the year if they're coming at all.
Yeah.
But if people are buying the IWM now, it's my thought is they're buying in anticipation of the rate cuts coming, which will push the IWM up later on, and then they'll be able to take their longer term gains once they've already been positioned for that move.
I totally agree. I mean, the market always looks out. I hate to be one of these people that has used these cliches from the past. Market looks 6 months ahead of time, right? Mm-hmm. So like I said, I've been in this game for close to 41 years. So I've heard every cliche under the sun, right? But I can't ignore if the Russell closed above this 204.75. I'm not saying they're going straight up. You're going to get your pullbacks to higher lows and things like that. Good buying opportunities, but you can't ignore that the Russell now would coincide with the monthly on the spiders, the Qs, and the diamonds. Those 4 ETFs would then be aligned on the monthly.
Yeah, and it also seems like the IWM is just the last of the sectors to get into because it's the most up. Everything else has absolutely gone crazy already. Qs, right. DIA, SPY, they're all really, really extended. Right. IWM is the last bastion for there to be for people to put their money.
Well, and that's why I think eventually that's going to propel the market to a short-term top or intermediate-term top eventually. And I think we get the pullback sometime in the end of the second to early third quarter to set up another bull run by the end of the year.
Okay, so you're looking for some more bullish runs here by the end of 2024. Awesome.
Oh, well, yeah, not from here though. I think we can pull in, 5 to 8, 10% by the end of the second to early third quarter, which is in my history has always been the weakest time. And then, I think going into the presidential election, I think that the markets will have a bull run to 52.50, maybe even higher. But it doesn't mean they can't pull into 44.50, 4600 like that.
Yeah, and we've often talked about, getting those pullbacks is actually what sets up that next move up. Yeah. Lynn is asking here, Steve, the election impact. What is the election impact on your overall thesis, if any?
Well, it's funny. I was asked this one time when I was on Fox Business right before the election, and this was when President Trump was in office, and I said that the markets don't like uncertainty, right? And being in the game so long as I have been, and markets knew what they were getting with Trump, and under Biden they weren't sure. And then you saw what happened. We pushed down to 3,600 on the S&Ps at one point during the year, during his presidency. So the markets really didn't like uncertainty. I think that it's going to play a very big factor. I think if Donald Trump is the nominee and becomes president of the United States, I think the market will absolutely explode to the upside. I mean, I don't think you'll walk in, you'll see up 150 handles on the S&Ps, if not more. If another candidate wins, I think the markets, depending on who it is, if it's Biden or someone else, I think the markets, again, don't like uncertainty, and that could play some type of a risk factor.
Okay, there you go. Good question there, Lynn. But there you go. All right. Do you have anything else that you want to take a look at? Anything individual names that you like?
I think Bitcoin's getting a little toppy up here. I know this halving thing is, I think I would be playing close to the vest, and I just think that more or less, I think pullbacks to higher lows using the bigger time frames like the daily are, I still think you're in a very bullish trend in Bitcoin. So, I mean, I probably would look to take profits here and look to buy pullbacks to higher lows.
Okay. Awesome. Good stuff, Steve. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, my man.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Thanks. Be well.
You as well. Don't be a stranger. We will be talking to Steve more. I love getting other opinions from active traders here in the market. It is absolutely awesome. Steve, I hope that you're right. I hope we do get another bullish move at some point, even if it's not from here, even if it's from a lower area here. I'd absolutely love that by the end of the year. And I think that your timeline with the election in there is pretty spot on.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Take care of yourself.
Bye-bye. Thanks. Take care.
All right, awesome stuff here. Like I said, I'm all about getting opinions from anywhere that we can. Steve's been doing this for an absolutely long time. We really appreciate that. I know that you guys were going crazy during that because Adel broke out of that spot. Let me actually go back to trade the pool here real quick. You can see Adel actually broke through that high, moved higher here. Looks like it's actually trying to pull back. We'll see where this ends up settling.
Same thing with CXAI.
Volume looking great here on ADILs. Here's CXAI, as 13 mentioned. Volume expanding there as well as it moves to that upside level there. 13, good stuff.
There were lots to look at while we were talking with Steve, but I like
market is pulling here.
His take on the pullbacks in Bitcoin and the broader market, because I agree with those. I think that I even mentioned SPY should be coming back down to about 460. We need to correct a bit with this move that we've had here, and we really haven't gotten that yet. So it's good for me personally. It's good to hear that from somebody who's been in the market a long time, and I'm seeing the same thing they are. So that gives me confidence.
Absolutely. And look at the timing. I know we're looking at intraday. We were talking about more long-term, the entire market pulling here, SPY, Dow, Qs, I think the IWM, same deal here. So it looks like we're getting a pullback here. That timing was pretty good.
I'm being asked if Vanny is turning around, and I'll say this. It has had pre-market and now regular session bounces off the 200 EMA on the 5-minute, and it is moving up through other EMAs. It looks like it's setting up to go higher. Maybe the next level will probably be somewhere between 415 and 440. But for now, okay, well, here it goes.
Look at that. Wow. Big rip here on Vanny. This definitely held that 340 level in the pre-market here. This thing gearing up for another move higher.
Couldn't even finish my sentence.
Nope. It wasn't going to wait for you, 13. It was just going to do it.
Hey, Lynn, nice. I think Lynn was the one that was bringing that to my attention. Let's see, is anybody else saying it before her? I don't think so. So yeah, Lynn was flagging this and asking me about that. And yeah, it looks like it was just kind of finding a bottom with that 200 EMA. And yeah, anyway.
Another one here being mentioned by Jay Rice, Oric. This is Oric Pharmaceuticals, ticker ORIC. This absolutely is breaking out here. Nice move on Oric. And actually, if we take a look here at a daily chart here, you can actually see this took out this recent high here. This is a nice breakout here on Oric. This is not one that I'm familiar with. Clinical stage biopharma company, pipeline of therapies designed to counter resistance mechanisms in cancer by levering its awesome. So Oric, I'm going to actually add this one to my watch list. Don't I have an oncology watch list in here? Pretty sure I do.
CXAI pulled, going back down to my VWAP, which I have at 265.
Cancer oncology. I do have one. Okay, that has been added. Good call here, Jay. This is a new issue for me. We will definitely watch Oric here. 13. I'm sorry. What was that ticker, Vanny? Which one are you on?
That was CXAI.
CXAI. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Here we go. A little knife back to the VWAP. We'll see if it firms up here.
Yeah. So Vanny getting stuck right in that area I was mentioning between 415 and 440.
Riot is ugly. That was a nice call there earlier. Here is Vanny.
Yeah, currently printing. Well, the high that it printed was at about 422.
Yep, and there's a little bit of size up there.
Yep. So could come in a little bit, but I think if we hold these levels and we set up to take out that area between what is about 420 to 440. We could push through it. We did hold these levels. Probably hold above 390. I would say.
I'm gonna step away for 1 second. 13. Just give me 1 sec.
Sure. Folks, have anything else you want to take a look at that's getting going or could be getting going? Looks like ADIL is still holding above my VWAP here at 210, 211-ish. CXAI starting to come off of that VWAP a little bit. And what else is going on? Looks like INOD still not really holding above that 750 level. So then it's very slow moving. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Fastly breaking down. DAI still going down a bit. Vanny is up. Yeah, sure is. Still trying to make its way through that that area we were talking about. Maybe it gets going here. It could very well. I think that 430 break would be pretty good, but I think 440 is the top end of that.
All right.
Yes, Coke has a nice flag going on there.
Yeah, it was on purpose. Come on.
No comment.
That
on that
was on purpose.
OCEA. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it going here. Pay no attention to the flagrant word that fell out of my mouth.
It's all good. It is all good. I do that all the time. I can't pronounce that correctly. By the way, snow here. You remember we were talking about snow. It looks like this actually might be moving up. I might take some of this here just because is the market going to bounce after that pull?
Well, you got to bounce from Fastly after it came down to the 65 EMA, which I have at 1423.
Yeah, we're gonna take some snow here. We'll see if this ends up working. Look at small.
CXAI still continuing to move off of the VWAP bounce. Soundhound still trying to retake 7. ADIL, that one looks like it's starting to get going to push to new highs. And then let's take one more look at Vanny because, oh, look at that. Vanny is moving.
Sound, I don't think this is done yet. Vanny definitely not done yet.
Thanks, Will. You're great too. Rail Vision just never that pre-market move was it for the time being, but it is holding its 65 and 200 EMAs for now. Maybe it gets some sideways consolidation and then it gets noticed again and the market takes it higher. But I don't know with Rail Vision. It doesn't look like it's really getting the attention it had this morning.
No, this is definitely not as hot as it was the last time that we traded this. That's for sure. That is for sure. Let's check in on snow. Looks like that is still trying to move higher here on snow. It's kind of holding in there.
If Zim does go underneath 11, I'm sorry, not 11, underneath 12, I'm going to do exactly what I've been doing with this thing the whole time. I'm just going to, reload the position.
Yep, might be time to add there.
Well, because that's just been the plan lately. Is if it goes under 11 or under 12, buy and start buying, and when it goes up to 13 or close to 13, sell. And that's just been the trade lately. So this is what I'm doing. I just let whatever I have left after it gets up to 13 ride because I still want to see it go to 15 and higher.
Jay Summers trading SMCI here. That actually should be bouncing after that market pull.
It looks like Betts is trying to put in a bottoming candle, but volume's low. ADIL, new highs.
Yeah, indeed. Wow, ADIL. A little bit of
CXA
size there at 252 if it can take that out.
Mhm.
CXAI you were about to mention?
Yeah, it's still trying to make its way back up. It just doesn't really have the volume to push up too high right now. And it might get it, but not at the moment. It's not.
Great call. Vic saying great call on ADIL, guys. Another awesome team effort.
Nice. Vanny looking good on the 1 hour. Just a little bit more volume. Yeah. These top wicks that it's putting in right now is a little concerning. So it's looking like it could come back in a little bit first, but maybe later today it could push through. But these top wicks aren't too encouraging. And maybe I'm wrong and it's just going to push through right now. But right now it doesn't look like it's got the volume to make that move it needs.
Market's still bouncing here.
Yeah.
Snow coming back in with that, unfortunately. We'll see, though. We'll see. Market's still holding up here. Fastly also turning around. Let's see if maybe the individual names are. Now, Apple still at the highs. Amazon making another run for its highs here. Amazon has actually been really strong today.
Yeah, it looks like IWM had a little bit of a smackdown, and it looks like it's going to go down to about 204 even. Maybe it'll find some support there.
Vic's asking, do you guys look at crypto ETF like GSOL for Solana? So I don't trade the crypto ETFs at all. I just hold some of the coins. I don't hold Solana. I don't follow Solana. I don't know anything about Solana. GSOL is not available here in the GSOL is the ticker, is not available in Trade the Pool. I would imagine that that's on the OTC exchange, I'm pretty sure. Let's see if that's available here in Pro. GSOL.
Vanny's trying to push through. It's going, it's making new highs, getting up to the pre-market high.
Yeah, that GSOL, that's an OTC. So generally speaking, no, we do not cover that.
Yeah,
I don't trade that stuff. So
I closed all my Bitcoin ETF positions after we started running, and well, I locked in gains, of course, but
yeah,
I'm not getting back into it up at these prices if I'm going to trade that at all. I was trading BITO. I'm sure there's better ones out there, but that's the one that I chose. So
that market bounce looks like it's kind of slowed down here. Snow is moving to the downside here.
What's the thought here with AT&T? This is a company that I have for a long term because they have great dividends.
Yeah, this is a dividend play here. Yeah,
but just was curious what the question was about it because I don't know what the question is.
I buy AT&T. Could please, Guy, tell me its best call or not? Sorry, my man. Don't know what you're asking, and we do not give financial advice.
Yeah, I mean, I like the dividends that they pay. I mean, and it seems like this sector is still on the rise, but this has been part of the sector, the communication sector, that's been beat up the most. The AT&T and Verizon. I don't know what your time horizon is. I mean, and I don't want to give any advice about it, but yeah. I do like AT&T personally for a long-term hold because of their dividends they pay.
Yeah, that's been a long-term hold in my family for its dividend.
Vanny ripping.
Long-term hold.
Those wicks did not tell the whole story. It is absolutely ripping. CXAI could not get back up there. ADIL 250 making new highs.
Jay mentioning that Mara is whacked. Mara is not even the biggest disaster of the day. This riot, man, that looks even worse. But the Bitcoin, Bitcoin's holding in here, 63,750 on the futures. So it is volatile. It is moving back and forth, but it's not breaking straight down. It doesn't look like this riot chart, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The whole morning watch list is bleeding off now. Yep.
Yeah.
What else did we have here? So RVSN's holding lower. ENVB.
Yeah.
Those junkier stocks.
SIDU.
SIDU. The CNVB looks like it's trying to go through the VWAP. Here we go. Last time it actually gave a pop in a trade here. Let's see if this goes. ENVB. SIDU right at that VWAP. Vanny's the one that's moving here to the upside. This actually getting extended from its VWAP here too.
Let me see something here. ENVB gave scalps, yeah.
Vanny higher here.
Seems like Vanny and ADIL were the trades. They seem to be the ones doing the best.
Market continuing to bounce here.
Looks like Coke is
Let me
not
bring that up.
happening. It might come back down to the 65 EMA, which is I have at 330 before it makes its run, but I don't know. That would be the next level for me if I'm going to do this.
The question about Tesla here is a fairly decent one. Market was definitely stronger here today. You know, it's worth noting that Tesla traded up in the pre-market on that. I think it was PCE news here. The move back down here, this basically just took us to the after-hour pre-market lows. So, I mean, this is just kind of a retrace of the range. I mean, it's bouncing here. Maybe it retakes the VWAP. And this is not all that terrible. Wow. You know what it is, though? Snow really starting to... This came back to its VWAP. We'll see if it bounces off the VWAP here. Was hoping we were going to get another move up there. Again, this is for the day trade. This is not for the swing trade. I will update you separately if I do open that.
Let's see. Vanny to 780 yesterday's highs. I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible. It's probably going to have to cool off a bit before it makes its next move, but you know, market's going to do what it wants. I think before that, it might run into some problems at around 610. That's the level I have. 510 was one of such level yesterday as well in the afternoon that it might run up to. So, but I think we should be looking for some other setups right now, because I think ADIL and VANI are just in the process of pulling back right now.
Yeah, they're just kind of doing their thing. I think you're right on that.
I'm just kind of curious when AI is going to start moving.
It's moving to the downside, man. I don't know. I think we hooked a bad one here. I don't know. The one thing that's really got me on this is that like a week ago, there was a humongous buy that took this thing to 250 in a heartbeat. And I'm thinking at that point, something's got to be brewing here, right? Something's got to be on deck here. I saw some other Twitter traders mentioning it. This thing has been a dog. Just an absolute dog. The not participating in any of the AI runs here. At some point, I'm getting close to pulling the plug on this one. I'm not going to hold this if it goes into penny stock land. That is for sure.
We'll probably have a conversation.
This was a spec. This was a spec trade on. It's just it is not working. It's done nothing but move down. This has been very disappointing.
Sometimes they just shake out the weak hands.
Exactly. And that's what I'm trying not to participate in. I'm trying not to get shaken out.
And you'd think that some of these would be doing much better with, the AI names reporting earnings. And
yeah, absolutely. This would have been a perfect day for it. And nope.
I'm coming up. Yeah.
Nope. RXRX, this one here moving off that VWAP. This is one of those NVIDIA related ones.
I don't know what snowmen eat for lunch, Smoke Tuna, but I know the difference between snowmen and snowwomen.
I'm not even going to entertain that one. Betty Boop, have a great day. Thanks for joining us here. Jay talking about a reversal on sell H. Wait, what? What a reversal from pre-market. Traded lower in the pre-market, and as soon as the market opened, it moved to highs. I thought you meant intraday reversal. My bad.
CXAI is still holding these levels. I mean, it hasn't gotten going to where it's going to break the 289 that it put in this morning, but it's not breaking down either. And I think under 265, it'd probably start to look finished.
There you go on
65.
CXAI.
Yeah. What else? I mean, it just looks like everything's just kind of falling out of bed right now.
VLCN kind of holding this low area here.
Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Oh, maybe that one's going to try to go higher. I was just noticing that Rocket Mortgage had a pop out of the gate this morning, put up the 1250 highs. It came back down, and now it's trying to curl back up and revisit that level, but slow moving, not enough volume to trade. Vanny, is that one going to keep going?
It's holding up here. It's flagging up after this leg up. That's encouraging.
Yep. I think it might come down to about 425 a little bit.
Rob, my bird is, I actually moved my bird is in a different room. So if you still hear that, there is not much I can do. It is literally in a different room. I can't, I mean, you're just going to have to deal with it. I don't know what else. I hate to be shitty about it, but that's it.
Another candle close above what, VWAP? Is that what we're referring to, Smoke Tuna? Another close. Okay.
Vanny's still flagging up here. AMD at the highs. Google kind of reversed off that move. Amazon's still holding highs. That's good to see.
ADIL is holding above VWAP. This might get going here. CXAI is taking another shot as well. Yeah, it's not a whole lot right now. A lot of things kind of coming down, looking for bottoms.
Yep. Here's AI. That's holding above its VWAP here. Yeah, so do I, Paul. It's actually it's crazy. After all these years, I've just become used to it. It's almost like a comforting thing. Really strange.
We could use some jokes and Smoke Tuna. What do you got for us? All right, looks like CXAI.
There we go on VLCN. Maybe we're curling back up here to take out 2.
Looks like CXAI is trying to take out its morning highs of 289.
Yep.
Just needs a little bit more volume. Looks like OCEA is also trying to make another move, looking for 2, I believe. Okay, so things are starting to turn around in some of these names, it looks like. Looks like
Jay Summers is still out here scalping SMCI back and forth.
Yeah.
It's got a tight range. He doesn't even care.
Like, you guys have fun with those penny stocks. All right, CXAI is going here.
ENVB back through its VWAP.
ENVB, I gotta bring that one up and look. Yeah, got support from the 65 EMA, so maybe.
COCH, this thing not even really moving.
Just waiting for that one whale to enter the ocean biomedical. Well, it sounds like somebody is in the bathroom making trades.
Oh, you mean the bird?
Yeah, VLCN coming up back up to my VWAP.
Yeah, that thing looking like it's trying to prime and go, but let's see what happens here at the VWAP. We were watching this at this 189, 190 level.
Yeah, this market just, seems like all the volume just left it all at the same time. Everybody went out to breakfast or something.
Yeah, that bounce pretty short-lived. Looks like that's kind of slowing down here.
ENVB is the one with the activity, it seems, right now. SIDU is trying to retake the VWAP that I have at 711. The number, not the store.
All I know is that we got our money out of AI and we're doing the happy dance. Good job trading that. I know you guys have been on that since this thing really started. You guys have found ways to consistently trade that back and forth and use it as an ATM. Len, that is awesome stuff.
Looks like OCEA could get going here. We just need to, give us some volume here, just a little bit of volume, and it could really move. ENVB, that's pushing the intraday high. It's probably going to take out.
Here we go.
High. Yeah, just
this ENVB. This would have been this was a nice one through that VWAP.
Vanny still coming down, but holding VWAP. So this one's setting up for the next move.
Indeed.
I mean, maybe 10, 15 minutes. It'll probably try to go higher, maybe longer. Not sure, but it needs to stop. It needs to find a bottom off this down move. VLCN slowly pushing through.
You said that they had an Instagram post.
Who did? VLCN?
Yeah, Dylan saying VLCN Instagram post just popped the volume again.
Hopefully some of these other companies will start posting on Instagram.
Hopefully something moves them.
Yeah, do something, guys.
And look at see, something's going on here. Look at that IDAI that we were just talking about. They just had a 12,000 share order that moved it from 106 to 114. Got a bid under it at 112. I don't know what's going on with this one, man. But
something probably has to do with the warrants.
Yeah, something. Not sure there. RX getting NVAX at the highs here. RX, let's take a look at that. That moving here off the VWAP. That's awesome.
All the NVIDIA names, huh? What's BMR doing?
Stopped there. SOUN.
Well, Beamer had a pop out of the gate, and now it's dying, or it's crashing. See what I did there?
ENVB pulling back to its VWAP here.
Yeah, I mean, if VNAI can hold these, these levels around, what is this?
VANI?
VANA, yeah, VANI. If it can hold like this, the VWAP for the next few minutes, probably could turn around and take the next leg up. Just something to watch. Fastly's starting to turn around.
SIDU maybe pushing up off this VWAP here. It's actually a decent consolidation area here on SIDU. You said Fastly, FSLY was turning around. Yeah, it's trying to bounce a little bit.
Oh, getting a little excitement there. Yep. Zim's still going lower, which is fine. I mean, it goes under 12, then
it's no
just
big
executing
deal.
my plan. Yeah. That's fine. Soundhound keeps trying to get up to 7 and gets rejected.
How's that ammo.com doing? This I'm still think is going to be a big play. It's right around my buy-in area. This is still going to be a big play, I think, this year ahead of the election.
Yeah, just
I'm already positioned for it.
maybe once the summer starts happening or comes to an end when the election cycle really begins to pick up,
Looking around, don't see anything else really new, so to speak.
Yeah, RX just blasted off to 12. I'm sorry, 14.12, and now it's coming in a bit.
I'm just pulling stuff off the scanner here, and none of it looks like a really good setup. Like everything just seems like the setup's already passed. AI being mentioned by Wiss.
Yep.
Looking like that's going for some new highs. Root still printing new highs. God, we should just buy Root every morning, I feel like.
And watch, we buy it now, and then
I know, and it'll just go down. It's trade down 50%, get cut in half.
Because Root's squeezing, isn't it? I think that's what we discussed with Root. Let me see.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah.
ENVB. I was going to say INVB isn't anything. ENVB. That is new highs here on ENVB. Wow.
The one we weren't going to touch.
Yep. It just took a while, though. We didn't. None of those early moves would have really been great. Even that first move to and through the VWAP, that got yanked immediately. So this move holding up a little bit longer.
OCEA still working, and it looks like it might be able to go to 2. Okay, so Vanny might be turning around here. It's got breakthrough 430. There's a pretty large wall there, but this looks like it's trying to come off of the VWAP area and go higher. So we'll see.
We'll see if it holds this area here. 417, I have that number as. A lot of stuff kind of coming back in.
Yeah, Root looks like it wants to go a little bit higher. Okay, so SIDU with a big red candle there. It popped up to about 750 and came back in, close to 750. What's ADIL doing? Okay, so ADIL trying to see if it can find the bottom. It's underneath VWAP now.
Yeah, that's looking like to see if it can take VWAP here.
Yeah, but I'm not sure about that one. That doesn't look too great.
Lynn and Randy saying they're going to watch DWAC for around Super Tuesday.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Mm-hmm. A lot of tiredness, it seems.
Yeah.
So bring out the jokes, Smoke Tuna. ENVB now.
Stock has traded almost 100 million shares of volume today. On average, it does 326,000. It's currently at 98.5 million shares of volume.
Low float. We'll do it.
Man, oh man. Man, oh man.
Looks like InnoData is starting to return. It's a slow day.
Yeah, it's slow. I'm tired. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. And normally I've got more energy than this, but not today.
So what do you do on slow days like this?
Research, reading. Those are generally what I spend my time doing. If I can afford it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do that, or I'll just leave my desk and get something else done around that.
Yeah, exercise is a good idea.
Bailey's and coffee time. No, I've had plenty of coffee this morning. As a matter of fact, maybe I should finish what's in my cup. Yeah,
Jim here. Jim saying it's hard to force trades when not much is happening. I struggle with it. I try. I'm sitting here. I think to myself, well, gosh, Ryan, you're sitting here. You're not doing anything. You might as well try to do something. Look harder. Look at a scanner. Look at a different scanner. Look at what other people are trading. And then I try to force things and I end up making a mess of it. I mean, snow. I had a perfect plan on snow. We're going to wait it out. Requires patience. We got bored here. I saw it curling. I'm like, oh, I'll day trade it. What the heck? Now I'm down on that position. So, I mean, I totally understand. Totally get it.
And it just might be one of these days where things were really crazy in the morning, and then this kind of slows down for a little bit. And all of a sudden in the afternoon, we start getting these crazy pops and runs and whatnot. So have your scanner alert stuff for you if you're staying at your desk.
CXAI, seems to be what's moving here. That pop into the highs.
Yep, there it is. Talked about that one, and that one's going. Let's see some of these other ones do it. It'd be cool if ADIL could turn around here, but it's, volume's not really encouraging. What's some of the other ones we were looking at? ENVB still making highs. Yep. VNI still trying to turn around here, but it's not looking too great.
VTNR, it's all good, Smoke Tuna. This was not a good trade. VTNR, this moving towards the highs.
I think I had that one on my watch.
BLCN still flirting with this VWAP. I'll tell you what, this is teasing breakouts and just not giving it. Right? Even the earlier, when we traded this earlier today and we actually traded above the VWAP, we never really got that breakout that we were looking for. Right? It just kind of traded up a little bit, took it off, small gain, didn't really go.
I think it's trying to right now. It might be, and if it doesn't get going right now, if it can still hold these levels for the next 10 or 15 minutes, it still might have a shot at getting over 2 and running a bit.
202 here has some size.
RXRX really came down. It's now trying to find support from the pre-market highs. ENVB not coming in. It might push higher. Let me do that. Fastly still coming back. This one also, it looks like it may have put in a bottom and is setting up to go back above VWAP.
Fastly?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great.
That would be great. I'd like that too.
Great move. I'd like to see a move above 15 on Fastly, honestly. That's what I'm looking for here. VLCN rejected at that VWAP.
Crush Peach is saying view. I think this was the window company, right?
Let me check that in Pro real quick. Actually, I think you might be right on that.
The smart window company that has a bit of attachment to the AI.
I think you might be right on that.
Yes, they are. Technology company and market leader in smart windows. Uses artificial intelligence to automatically adjust the response to the sun and increase across natural light and room. So again, the AI names, the ones that have run before, they're back. Yeah, OCEA still looking like it wants to take this higher.
VLCN just went through that VWAP. That was some dirty tricks that it was doing right there. Went through the VWAP and pulled back.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's Crow. Crow sent me that the Martin Shkreli telling SBF that jail, quote, isn't really that bad, end quote. Thought the video was funny. I don't want to go to jail. I don't believe Martin. Sorry. It was really entertaining though.
And I getting a mention here is
it looks
saying timing.
Oh, I thought he said trimming. I thought maybe he was trimming into the move, but here we go. That's at that VWAP. It looks like that's curling through here.
Mm-hmm. Keep thinking this is going to try to go back up to the 480 it was putting in this morning.
Look at VLCN rejected again at that VWAP. It's right back on, though. It's trying. This VLCN.
ENVB put in a new high. Man, that's funny.
VLCN went right above 2 again and rejected.
All right, looks like Vanny's getting going here a little bit.
There's SOUN, VLCN. Oh my God, are we doing it? Look at that. It just took all that. Look at all that time it took to pop through, and it's going here.
Mm-hmm.
On VLCN.
And if it can keep going or holding above these levels, it's probably going to take it higher than 220.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Size at 208 getting hit here. Size at 210.
Oh, tell me sweet things, Vanny.
Are you in this one? You?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't realize you got entry on this. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, just trading what I think is setting up. Not the greatest day so far, because things just have not been going.
No, they have not.
So far, Vanny's
445 is the spot here. 450, I guess, has a little size on it.
Yeah. But so far, Vanny's been the good one today for me. I'm just looking to see if I can get any other trading action with some of these other ones. Yeah, Coke looks like it might be turning around. VKTX trying to make a new bottom. Oh.
I'm going to bring that up here.
Because that one was going crazy. Did that ever hit $100? That is the one, right? The semaglutide.
I'm sorry, VKTX Viking.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right, Vanny got as high as 445, coming back in a little bit. If it can still hold up here in this area, I don't think it's done. But when we start breaking down VWAP, it's probably going to change my tune. Coke taking off, going back up to VWAP.
That's COCH.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coke is very spready.
VLCN smoke. Oh my God, that is still moving here. Wow, that was it. That was that move there. VLCN 15 MACD going green. VLCN going here. Nice patience on this one. I know I traded this one earlier, didn't have the patience that I needed, but here we go. This one is moving here. VLCN, if you hook this, I would say, given what we saw earlier, I would at least trim into this move. Trim some into this move, but this thing looking good here. Volume is expanding.
And it might make a good run to 250 before it runs into supply issues.
Yep.
VTNR, this looks like it still might have some more room to go up. Just needs to hold the level.
Marlon's asking what platform y'all use, and do y'all have more than one platform to trade with them? Okay, so this is a really good question. So what you're seeing here on the screen is the prop account. Okay, this is the Trade the Pool prop account. I do also have my own account with my own money, totally funded, that I do both. When I'm on this show, most of the day trading that we do here is done in the prop account that you can see. I'll mention, like I did with Pan W, if I'm going to take something longer, it's generally reserved for swings. I've told you guys a bunch of times I would prefer to swing trade than day trade. But yeah, I use both of those. 13, I can't speak for him. I'll let him speak for himself.
I use Webull for day trading. I have other accounts for longer term positions, but I usually talk with my fiduciary about taking trades in that, and that's a much larger account, we'll just say. And my fiduciary is with Edward Jones. Yeah,
I actually have, my family has experience with Edward Jones too. A bunch of great people over there. Smoke Tuna saying, Ryan, you need more than 2 hours to trade. Indeed, I do. The thing is, and let's be very, very clear. It's kind of how I differ from Dennis. I have a 9-to-5 job here at Benzinga, and I love it. This is not a complaint, okay? But I do have other responsibilities, which means I don't focus on the market all day. I don't derive all of my income from trading like someone like Dennis does, for example. So, totally get it. I have a project here at Benzinga where we're building something really great here. We talk about it all the time. You community folks are a part of it, so I'm okay with that. But Smoke Tuna, you're right. At some point, there will be a time where all I need to do is focus on the market, and the trading will be glorious when that's the case.
Oh, Webull is going to IPO. Okay, well that's. I don't know that I'll necessarily buy the company's stock and trade it, or maybe I'll trade it, but that'll be interesting. What do I think about Trade Zero? As asked,
Yeah, I don't know.
Mihai. I don't know. I have never used Trade Zero. I've used, when I first started, I used Robinhood. Never go back to that. I've also used Webull. I've used TD Ameritrade, their Thinkorswim, and I've used Trade Station as well. I think I like Webull the best.
There you go. I've heard really good things about Webull. I use TD Ameritrade as my main account. I've been using it for years. I'm used to it. I like it. It is what it is.
I would love to learn more about TD Ameritrade. There's just so much that you can do with that platform in terms of programming the broker to just do trades for you. Like I don't know. I've looked into that, and I've had people who use it show me the different things they can do, where they can just literally set conditions using EMAs or VWAP, so that if it comes down to this VWAP, buy here and then sell when it's extended a certain figure away from VWAP. You can then they just let the programs run themselves. So when we're talking algos, it's kind of more or less like that.
Yeah, I don't mess with any of that yet. That's not yet. I still want to be in control. Real quick here, folks, we are going to be going pretty much right up to 11, maybe a minute short, but definitely join us. We're actually doing a webinar after our show here. Dive into the digital revolution of real estate. Join us for an immersive journey through the dynamic landscape of modern property investment. From cutting-edge technology to innovative strategies, discover how the digital era is reshaping the future of real estate riches. Don't miss your chance to unlock the secrets of success in this exhilarating webinar. So we're going to be starting that here pretty much right at 11, maybe a minute early, but 13 and I are going to go right up to the bell there.
Yep.
So no worries on that.
Joseph Grayson, to answer your question about why not Robinhood, it just doesn't have the features and tools that I use for trading. Maybe that's different now because I haven't used it for a long while, and they might have something. But there's one thing that I'll say that's good about Robinhood was their options platform. I thought that was I thought that was pretty good they had, but I haven't used it in a long time, so I don't know what that looks like anymore. I just won't use it again.
Yeah, Robinhood for me, I never used it, but when I watched a bunch of newer traders not being able to liquidate their positions during that whole GME craze, to me that was it. That's the problem with first impressions. You only get to make one, and that one was not a good one. So.
That turned me off of it too, as well.
Yeah, and ADWTX. This is another thing to remember here. In some cases, it doesn't even matter what broker you trade. My very first account was Scott Trade. I blew that account up, by the way. I've told that story a number of times. Started a $500 account, thought I was going to get rich trading OTC cannabis names, and it didn't go well. So that Scott Trade account was blown up. Scott Trade eventually got bought out by Ameritrade, which became TD Ameritrade, and now TD Ameritrade is bought out by Schwab. So I guess if I had just gone to Schwab at the beginning, maybe I could have skipped all of this, but it is what it is. These companies cannibalize each other.
Oh, I explained already why I don't like it. The lack of tools, and also what Ryan was saying about how they just kind of screwed the GME crowd over.
Yep. I mean, you can think what you want about GME as a stock, but I mean, investors come from all walks of life, and to not allow investors for any reason to not close positions, not have access to their account, that's no good.
If it works for you, by all means, use it.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the other thing about brokers, right? It's going to be personal preference, and I'm glad that we have a selection of brokers to go through. We're not just forced into using one or two of them. There's a bunch of them that you can choose from. Use the one that works for you. Everyone's a little bit different.
SIDU is trying to break out. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
Moved over VWAP, came back up to that, just below 750, and just couldn't get above that. I think 750 is the real big level it needs to get over, and I can see that there's some good size there at that level as well. So that's the level to beat, and I think if it does beat it, it's okay. It could make a pretty good move.
All right, that's going to do it for 13 and I today. 13 TGIF tomorrow. It is going to be Friday. I can't wait to close the week strong. I will say you've done a great job here this week. I'm still in the snow trade. I'm going to monitor this, folks. I'll update you tomorrow on what happens. But that's going to be it for 13 and I today. Stay green, stay safe. Happy trading, everybody. Stick around for that real estate webinar, and we'll see you tomorrow.